Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is the horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so Pisces, tonight we have the Knight of Wands. Very passionate, very fiery. All right, stay still there. Okay, here we go. And let's take a look. Let's see what's going on here with these tea leaves. So we have that Knight of Wands energy. Yeah, to me, like, I immediately think of, somebody that is, really driven by their passions. There's a lot of drive there. On the go, right? When I see the Knight of Wands, I also think of somebody who would be really, really good at having like their own business, having a job where they're kind of self-led. If there's like a special interest or some kind of hobby, they would excel at this because it's such a devoted to the passion of something, right? This energy is just absolutely like being enthralled with something. Now, when you pair it with the Knight of Swords, to me, that's like the ultimate team, right? These two come together and you can't stop. You can't stop somebody who has that airy quality and that fiery quality. So I definitely am interested to see where this is going to take us. So immediately I'm seeing we have a large, it looks like a horse. I was going to say cow, but I think this is a horse probably. You can see the ears. Here is the face. You can see down here would be where the nose is. Maybe even what is it called? The face piece where the reins. That, whatever that's called. I should know. My daughter was taking riding lessons all summer. And I was around horses more than I ever have been in my life. They're pretty neat. So we have it, and it's in full gallop. I mean, you can see the tail is up and moving, and so I know we have. Look at this horse here, in a similar posture, and so definitely very motivated, inspired to really put yourself completely into whatever it is that you have going on, right? If this is your work, maybe it's a relationship, maybe you are, really involved in a family dynamic in some degree, some way, spending a lot of time with the kids or, mom and dad or whoever it is. But there is just a sense of, I'm here in this moment, I'm doing this thing, and this is all there is, right? There's nothing outside of what's happening right here. You are very present in the now, right? And so I feel there is really this rising. That's what it feels like, a rising of spirit, right? And feeling, I think, pretty dang good. I think in general, just feeling really good about things. Now, we have a face here in the middle. We have eyes, a nose, a mouth, kind of these eyebrows. They look like they're kind of in a, well, I don't know, maybe a little bit of an angry or annoyed or something like this. But to me, this reads as maybe a father figure, just kind of a really masculine, role model in your life. And I think that's the big thing, is this is somebody who really, really leaned into their masculinity, for better or worse, right? And I feel like probably as they got older, became, or they still are, it could be, right? Pretty ornery. I think just in general, annoyed easily, always kind of barking at everybody. I think for you, this is kind of one of the big influences of your life, especially in those formative years. And I think that you have at times even like heard yourself or heard this person coming out of your mouth, right? I've done this myself with my daughter, especially. It always makes me laugh when she's running through the house and I say, hey, no running in the house, stop. You know, go outside, go in the backyard, whatever. You know, we'll go outside and play or whatever. And my grandfather, it was always telling us kids, stop running through the house. And, you know, sometimes it just happens that way. We start to hear our parents, our grandparents in the way that we communicate. And, you know, sometimes we have to really kind of reel it back in and temper ourselves a bit and figure out, like, how are we going to kind of learn to respond instead of react, right? Because that's kind of a reaction. That's just like muscle memory, right? Where responding is something that is thoughtful and intentional, okay? So I feel like this is something that maybe you have been working on more intensively lately, because it seems like it is very much related to this feeling of your passion coming back. And I feel like, you know, you've really kind of maybe done some, kind of maybe self-analysis, right? Really like looking into yourself and seeing where there's some things that you could work on and really, you know, staying devoted to that healing process. And so, yeah, I could see why these two things are related, trying to kind of unburden yourself of these learned behaviors, okay? Now, I want to look up here, and I see we have a person right here, you can see, and it looks like even they have it looks like a skull right in their chest area. You can see the eyes, the nose, kind of a frowny face. But we have the person here, and here's their arm, here's their head, and they're holding flowers. Okay, they're holding some flowers. But they wear death on their shirt. So that's interesting. I want to look some more at what is going on with these people over here. And it looks like we have... It looks like a house right here. You can see kind of this rectangle would be the side of the roof here. And then kind of this would be the front and the side of the house here. And maybe some little trees and so on. Now over here we have, it looks like two people. One here, this would be the head. Here's the body. Here are the legs and the feet. Now this person over here, the head's more up here, and here's the body, and here are the feet, okay? And next to them we have, it looks like the hanged man archetype, okay? So self-sacrificing, this person might be. We also have a heart up here, and we have an hourglass. So all about timing. All about timing. Now, I feel like there's you and then two other people. Also, if you look down here, it looks like the side of a cat's face. You can see the eyes, you can see the kind of the mouth. Here would be the nose right here, and it's looking off this way. So So I immediately see this, and to me, it kind of really implies that we have one person who is very, I think they're very, well, like I said, self-sacrificing. They seem to be a very kind of thoughtful and maybe soft-spoken, it very much independent and very kind of, they're just maybe even kind of solitary, right? Like they just kind of do their own thing. Maybe they haven't been in a lot of long-term relationships, or maybe they were in one for a long time and then they got divorced or whatever it is. And now, you know, you've met them and maybe you've had a relationship with them for some time, or maybe this is a new thing. But I feel like this is the person that you are most connected with, okay? But on the other side, there's this person kind of showing up, like walking up towards the house that you have built, right? You have this life that you have kind of put together for yourself, right? And you have a person, you might not be together, maybe you are, but you know, I feel like you have a pretty good connection. It seems like maybe at times you might feel like this person is maybe a little bit aloof or detached, or kind of just like in their own world. They're not really super concerned with you. You know, but I don't think there's any like super major problems. Although, you know, being a Pisces, I know you love connection. You want to be close with other people, and especially your partner, right? Now we have this person kind of showing up, and, you know, although they seem like they are very attentive, they are like grand gestures, showing up with a bunch of flowers, you know, writing poems and singing songs, and, you know, really, really trying to kind of win you over. And really this kind of, you know, very lay it on thick kind of attitude about courtship. But with the skull on their shirt, which, listen, I wear all kinds of different stuff that has skulls on it. I mean, I don't have a lot of skulls, I guess, but I would, maybe I haven't at some point, right? I am kind of goth mom. But this is different. This is like somebody who lives close to death, right? This is somebody who, I almost feel like they're very, it's like they're very attached to their death drive, right? And we all have a death drive. I think it was Hillman that said we do anyways. And this is kind of the bane of our existence. This is also the great motivator for us in life, is that we're afraid of death. We're always trying to escape it. And so it's the thing that's constantly driving us to procreate, to, you know, have these kind of like very social, tribal societies that, you know, we feel like we have to make something of our lives so that we, you know, have some kind of legacy. And it's all kind of in honor of, but also in fear of death. And so this might be somebody who is really, I mean, kind of impressive and charming, but it's like they operate from a place of just pure anxiety and not being able to stay still. And, you know, it's like really when they shine the sun on you, you know, you're the golden one for them in that moment. It's like, you know, you're in pure bliss, nirvana, right? But the moment that they get bored or tired, or, you know, you do something or say something that affects them in some way, or, you know, it kind of rocks their boat a little bit, they're out of there. They're on to somebody else, right? And so I feel like looking at this, it's almost like there's not even much of a choice, right? And I hope, you know, I hope that the choice is you, right? You're choosing yourself. Peace out to everybody else. Sorry, guys or girls or whoever you are, you know. But yeah, no, I think that this is kind of a moment of, I almost wonder if it's like an ex that, or somebody who's been kind of flirtatious with you, but they take that next step. They add you on social media, or, you know, they start showing up at the coffee shop that you go to, or whatever it is. And yeah, and I feel like for you, it's kind of like, it's kind of a put off a little bit. I mean, a little, you know, maybe a little flattered, but also kind of like, you know, I'm not interested in all of that, right? All the pomp and circumstance. And so I could see this thing kind of getting sorted pretty quickly. But, you know, I think that for you, it's kind of a moment of kind of more self-analyzing, more looking at your situation. Okay, so I kind of want to use the oracle cards. What does this say? It looks like it's FOAL. I think. I know definitely F. I thought for a second it was like Fooly Cooley. That's where my head went. If you ever watched that show, it's so good. But I think that's FLCL. So anyways, we'll go with the letters FOA. Where did it go? L up here. I think it changed a little bit. Oh yeah, FAOL. Sometimes the water moves stuff. Okay, so we have that. We also have, this looks like a tower, right? That's already kind of burned down. And so I feel like you're kind of still in the shadow tail of a tower moment, and still kind of digging yourself out of that in some ways. Now we also have the Magician. You can see right here, kind of wearing like a robe or something. We also have, it looks like the Fool right here, kind of prancing, dancing around. Now over here, it looks like we have two people playing music, maybe a pipe in the front there. And this one up here just reminds me of like two lips, you know, there's like no body, it's just like floating lips. And then up here, it looks like we have the all-seeing eye. Once again, the all-seeing eye showing up. It's been showing up a lot lately for some reason. All right, so let's take a look. Yeah, so we have the Magician right in the middle. And I feel like with the Fool and the Magician, there is kind of also this pull towards trying to allow yourself to ease up. After all the things that you have been through recently, I feel like it's just kind of a time where you just need it to be a little bit less serious. A little bit less like, oh, everything is so dire. Everything is so important in this moment right now. Constant stream of anxiety and things to do and tasks and, you know, just stuff that overwhelming. It's just so overwhelming. And so I feel like, you know, there's this real kind of, like, I am creating a new part of my life right now. And this is all so much. And I've just been through some really kind of difficult things. And maybe it's time that I need to take a little bit of a break. Maybe I need to go on a little vacation. Maybe I need some space. Maybe I need something for myself. So we have that full energy of kind of, yeah, being uninhibited and allowing yourself to just kind of be free to be a fool if you want to be, you know, and not caring what anybody thinks. And so I feel like there's really kind of this calling for you to maybe like go and do something like, well, I immediately was envisioning like going to a festival, you know, not like, well, you could go to some EDM type thing, I'm sure, but I'm thinking of like the old school stuff, like, you know, like the parking lot of a Dead show, or like, I don't know, like the like a rainbow gathering or something, you know, and just kind of really letting it all happen, right? And so, yeah, I think it's important for us all to have a moment where we can just be in a place where we feel like we can show ourselves. We don't have to be, you know, all the things that we have to wear and, you know, the hats and masks and what have you while we're out in the world, you know, around, among other people. But I feel like this is wherever this is, if it's like your cabin in the woods, if it is, you know, a little beach house that you rent in peak season, the beach is full, you're out there with all the people, or, you know, I don't know, like I said, going to a festival, or, you know, finding something, right? Something where you can go and forget for a little while, you know, put away the mundane tedium of your busy life, and yeah, and enjoy, you know, because sometimes, you know, we have these real awakenings when we're going through these tower moments, and we realize life is short. I've been squandering so much of my time doing things I don't even care about, or, you know, trying to like be friends with people who I don't even feel that, you know, close to anymore, or, you know, I mean, just our lives are full of things that we keep doing them, but do we know why, right? And then something happens and it's out of our control, and it's sometimes very traumatizing. It can be, at the very least, just kind of, you know, a time suck, or, you know, stressful, or what have you. But they really do remind us that this is the life we have. Now, maybe there's reincarnation, maybe there's the multiverse, maybe there's infinite timelines, and, you know, maybe this is a simulation. I don't know. What does it matter, right? This is it right here, right now. And what are we going to do with that? Right? Are we going to stay loyal to a life of just doing things because we think that we should or have to, or, you know, that's what people do? I don't know. You know, but I know that it is one of the real, and I'm not going to say a tower moment is a gift, but it can be. At least some part of it. And what that is it's an abrupt reminder. Abrupt reminder that, oops, I shouldn't be banging on the table. Everything's just so carefully put that, yeah, this life is short, right? We better be doing something with it. We better be doing something that we enjoy at least once in a while, right? So I see this as being kind of that afterwards, where you've had this moment and you had this awakening, and now it's starting to get a little fuzzy. You're getting back into the regular flow of life. And, you know, I think in moments you have that, like, oh, that clarity. Okay, I'm kind of getting back, you know, lulled into just going through the motions of the day, right? And no, I don't want to just do that. I mean, I will for some, you know, to some degree, right? But I'm going to honor all of this stuff I've went through, all these things that have been, you know, heartbreaking or difficult or time consuming or, you know, whatever. And I'm going to honor it by not forgetting that I have to show up for myself. And sometimes I need a break. And sometimes I need to walk away for a little while to get some clarity. You know, even if it's just for an afternoon, or even if it's just like going out to your car at lunchtime and sitting there eating, watching the birds fight each other for a French fry, right? I don't know, you know. I think we've all had that moment once or twice. And yeah, we do. We all need a little reprieve. Now, over here we have the number 30. We also have what looks like the spade. So this is an energy. It feels far off. It feels like, I almost feel like it's like a sibling, a brother, or a cousin, their good friend. Somebody you kind of grew up around, maybe indirectly, but you knew them because they came by the house, or they'd be, you know, on a vacation, or, you know, whatever. But for some reason, this person, they wear the spade. And I feel like there's almost kind of it's like a tears, so many tears. It's filling up the floor is just covered in water. So I feel like it's something kind of tragic here. There's something about a butterfly. Something about a butterfly. And I almost wonder if they have a daughter. They like left behind a daughter. And I don't know how this is attached to you. But I feel like it's, you know, like there's something here you understand, because it's like they're showing me, make sure that you say this, right? Yeah, and like maybe like a cat following close behind as you're like walking. I don't know. That almost feels like it's from childhood. Like I saw you. I would watch you. I saw you. The cat would follow you all over the place. All right, let's do our oracle cards really quick. This one's going to be long. I will only do like 3. I always do like 6 after I say I'm going to do 3. But I just want to ask, what is the kind of energy that we're going to be having for towards the end of we're almost at the end of the year. We have like a month and a half. So what does this next month and a half kind of look like, feel like? What's the vibe? All right, let's see. We're going to start right here. We have order. Well, that's good. Getting things in order. Maybe cleaning up the house, getting the closets in order. Okay, so we have loss. Okay, so there's going to be maybe at least a feeling of loss. It doesn't necessarily mean that there is something or a person or a thing that is coming to an end or feels like you have lost it, but it could be the perception of loss. Okay, and then we have discrimination. Okay, well, I have to do more because I don't know what the heck to say about that. Speculation, acquisition. I almost feel like this is a work thing. It feels like I almost feel like you work somewhere where you like had been for quite a while and you came in and you really got things like working in a more fluid way, like really streamlined some stuff, updated some things. But I almost think that like when there was maybe some chance for advancement, some kind of chance, maybe it was like a whole raise or like advancement, getting a new position, or maybe just, like a raise, getting a few, another dollar or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what raises would be like now. I always waited tables. So if you've ever worked waiting tables, you know that our pay is usually below minimum wage. So I don't know. I've had only a few jobs where it was regular pay. All right. So I almost feel like, so another person comes in, right? And they're really showy. They're just like all smoke and mirrors. And it's like super obvious to you. They're also younger. That's the thing. They're also younger. And in kind of the jumble of, now I don't know that there was like a full acquisition at your company, but it could be that they were changing the, we're changing the culture of this company, or going to a new kind of model for how the company is arranged, or whatever it is, changing things around. And right, you're expecting like, okay, well, I'm gonna definitely get some kind of advancement because of all the work I've done prior to this. Like, I came in here, I really, was like A++, and then this other person comes in, or they've been there, but they're not as impressive, but they're younger, they're more showy, they're like full of themselves, and they end up getting the job. And I feel like for you, it really is. There's this feeling of maybe there is some discrimination. Maybe, it feels like quite a loss because you've put so much time into getting this place into order, right? And so, what does that mean for you? Is this something that you can live with? Is this not? I know, the world is, it's hard right now as far as jobs and making money and paying the bills. I mean, groceries, all of it. So it would be hard to kind of just walk away from a job you've had for some time. But, is there room for growth? That's kind of the question. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe this is something that needs to be looked at really deeply, you know, and maybe looking at this from a spiritual position, you know, and maybe as kind of a minor ordeal for you, you know, and figuring out what does that mean? What's the lesson here, right? Okay, so we're going to do 3 lucky numbers. We have, it looks like 6. So number 6, 39, 6, 39, and 89. 6, 39, and 89. All right, and we will just finish up here with our Mary Magdalene Oracle cards. And I'm going to flip through, stop where it feels right. And it says Ascension. Farther up is further in. Farther up is further in. All right. Wow. Pisces, I'm going to tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm just in such a hurry. My daughter is having a play date with a friend. They're gonna come do crafts over here. So I'm actually the one that's nervous. I'm like, I don't know. We've never done this style of play date before, so I'm kind of nervous. But anyways, yes, if you want to hit the like button, it really helps the channel. And if you want to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. I read all of the comments. And yeah, and with that, again, I'll say I love you, I love you, I love you. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk in a few days. Good night.